Gender is just like a really quirky but brutal Gemini, and the world wants you to be friends with it, but friendships with Geminis don't work if you force them. So take your time with it.
Tell us your name, how you identify.
Why? No. Yeah, I will. I'm Axel, and I'm non-binary and genderqueer, and I use they, them pronouns.
My name is Jes. I am a trans man, and I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Sol, and I identify as agender. For me, gender is kind of like an outfit I put on, but I'm most comfortable at home, you know, just lounging, so to speak.
What does it mean to be cisgender?
I mean, there's like biological sex, which is like what you're born with, and then there's gender, which is just a construct, and cisgender is kind of along the lines of identifying with that biological sex.
To be non-binary means I have both qualities of like feminine and masculine, and I will fit into neither, but I will also identify as both.
I try to act independent of the norm set up for men and women.
What is gender?
I don't know, because it doesn't exist.
What are your pronouns?
My pronouns are anything and everything. They, them, she, her, he, him, whatever you want to use, I'm fine with it. I think it's still hard for people to comprehend that some people live without gender being a part of their lives.
How is this experience today?
It's pretty cool. I got everybody guessed pretty much exactly right.
You're neither male nor female.
Genderqueer and use them, they.
Non-binary.
Like an old adage that explains something that people often don't get is like, I don't want to look or be cis. So, I don't know, being guessed right is sort of like validating in a way.
Just being pegged as something that's not a woman is like kind of fun and exciting for me. That's not something I get to feel a lot.
Most people guessed incorrect, but I just think that's due to terminology.
I'm gonna say genderqueer.
I'm just gonna go with genderqueer.
I think it's just a question of like when you learn terms and what they mean, because the first term that I heard was trans, and then I was like, well, I'm not a man, so I must be a trans woman. And then I heard non-binary, and I was like, that sounds better, so I'm non-binary. And then it came to a point of like me switching my gender every day to realize that, you know what, maybe I don't want any of them, you know?
I already came out to my parents at 5 that I was trans, and then they're like, no, you're gay. And then I came out again at 10, and they're like, no, you're gay. And I'm like, no, this is who I am. Like, I've always known I was female, and nobody gave me a proper label of what it is.
I think one important thing about like gender and how people identify themselves is completely different from sexual orientation or who people are attracted to.
You in a relationship?
I am.
How do they identify?
But what does that have to do with my gender identity?
God damn it.
You can be cis-presenting and also be gay, but at the same time you could be totally gender non-conforming and be in a straight relationship.
How do people guess you today?
They all guessed correctly.
I'm gonna guess that you are male.
Do you identify as trans male?
You are trans, you're trans.
I'm a little surprised and also like a little bit worried, because unfortunately we still live in like a world where you can just get attacked for being trans.
I'm aware that I look pretty cis-passing. The sort of trade-off between safety and being able to choose who knows is the erasure of my identity.
What are the consequences of being misgendered?
It stings a bit. When people do misgender me, I get really lost in my head versus like, am I doing something, like did I perform gender without even like being aware, or this person's just trying to like mess around with my head.
For me, like my least favorite thing is when people say thank you, sir, where it's like, you could have just said thank you though. Like, why are we set up to acknowledge this thing that really doesn't need to get acknowledged and can be really harmful to acknowledge?
Being 38 years old, maybe I've grown like a thicker skin than most people. I've tuned it out. So like it doesn't matter to me like what you call me as. Just call me by my name, Sophia. Or Miss Luciani if you're nasty.
I don't encounter being like misgendered like very often at all, but other people do. And so like the least I can do is perpetuate a culture where you don't assume things.
Did you find that any of the questions you were asked today were harmful?
I think the question about like what surgery I had done,
Do you have top surgery?
just because that's like really intrusive. There are trans people who haven't gotten surgery or don't even want to get surgery, and so it doesn't really, like having surgery doesn't really say anything.
Did you learn anything from this experience?
That it's confusing. I mean, when we went through and we were like, what does like gender fluid, gender nonconforming, and gender non-binary mean? And it's like, they all mean the same thing. And that doesn't mean that it's not your job to still have some understanding.
Hearing when they talk about like cis, non-cis, and I'm like, I'm oblivious to that, if that makes sense. I know I sound so old school and like Republican right now.
I think I'm still have like a long way to go in like unpacking like internalized transphobia, and because like right now I still like associate being trans with dysphoria, and so I am proud to be trans, but sometimes I wish I don't feel dysphoria.
There's so many terminologies and things that are constantly evolving and being reclaimed, and so be adaptable and be willing to learn, I think is like the main thing I took away from today.